Welcome to slope. Okay, so slope, we're really just showing a rate of change of how things change going up and how things change going left and right. Better if I just explain it to you, okay? While we're figuring out slopes, first the thing I want to talk to you about is when we see slope, it's kind of slow. Wow, that was kind of weird. If we write slope, we usually use the letter M. So when you see the letter M, that usually refers to slope. So here I wrote slope equals 2/3, slope equals -3/2, so on and so forth. Don't think of them so much as fractions, even though they work as fractions. Mixed numbers and all that stuff's fine. You don't have to worry about any of that. They are fractions that we will reduce if we can, but just think about them as just the rate of change. Now, what do I mean by rate of change? Slope is going to be rise over run. That means that the top number means how do we change going up and down, and the bottom number means how do we change from when we go left to right. So why don't we do a few things as just examples, okay? So this one is m equals 2/3, and I have a given dot right there. The 2 tells me I need to go up 2, and the 3 means I need to go right 3. And so there's my second dot, and now I've got a line. It's really that simple. Now, why did I go up and right and not down and left? Well, what we're also going to learn is that if you go up or if you go right, just like how the planes work, these directions are positive. If you go down or if you go left, those are going to be, oh, sorry about that, those are going to be negative. Okay. So, for example, let's do this one m equals -3/4, and it starts right there. Okay, well, that's fine. -3 means I'm going to go down 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over this way because it's positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, so these are going to be my dots. Okay, that's just kind of a halfway point. So when you have a negative, it's only one of them. Well, why the 3 and not the 4? Isn't it true that this is the same as 3 over -4? Well, I don't know. Let's see. If I were to start at this dot and I want to go here, if I start at this dot and I go +3, I would go up 3. But now -4, I'd go left 4, which would give me 1, 2, 3, 4. It would put me in the same spot. Okay, so that's why it doesn't matter which one is negative. I like going left to right most of the time. Now, if they give you a graph and the dot is way over here on the graph, yeah, you're probably going to have to go down and left and do all that. But as much as possible, keep that top number negative, not the bottom number. And then you just have to worry about up and down, and you're always going to the right. So let's look at this one, -3/2. I'm given a dot. I'm going to go -3. So I'm on 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go over 2, 1, 2. Boom. There's my slope. I've got one more here. M equals 4. 4, that's not a fraction. What do you do with that? How do I handle that? Well, 4, it can be a fraction. Because remember, any fraction can be written as over 1. The mistake people usually make is they'll see the 4 and they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's nothing on the bottom, so it's nothing. And they stop right there and they'll write a vertical line. That is incorrect. Remember, when you see a number, it's assumed that there's a 1 underneath. So write everything as a fraction. It's going to be very helpful for you. So on here, I'm just going to go up 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to go over 1, and boom, that's what it looks like when you have that. Okay? So this is one way to do it, and I do have some worksheets for you to work on. Please work on them and work on all three because they're all going to look a little bit different on how I'm asking the question. Because the other way to do these just by looking is to I give you the line and you have to figure out the slope, which we're going to do right now. Now remember, there's a math way to do this where they don't give you a graph, and that's going to be in the next video, okay? But for right now, let's go on to the next one where I actually give you a line and we have to figure out the slope. Okay, so now I've done some here where we're going to do the slope just by looking at it, okay? And we're going to be given the graphs, and now we have to find the slope. Now, there is a math way to do this, and that's going to be in the next section. But now we're going to try to just use our eyeballs on this. Okay, sometimes we can't trust our eyeballs and we want to do the math, but in these cases, we can. So remember, we talked about earlier, slope equals rise over run. So I want you to always do the ups and downs first and then the lefts to rights. And I think you're going to find that this is going to work really well. Also, remember, Going up and right is positive. Going down and left, that's negative. Okay. And so that'll really matter on this. Now, on this, I always like to do, if I can, the up and down first, um, and then always go right. Because if I always go to the right, then I know that my bottom is always going to be positive, and I'm usually not going to make mistakes on signs. So I could look at this dot and I could go down and to the left, and I'm going to get a negative and a negative, which is fine, but usually that freaks people out. So if we go right, it usually is helpful. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to go from this dot to this dot because they're going right. And I notice that this one goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. So my top number is going to be 4. And my bottom number, this is going to go over, it's going to go over 1, 2. So that's 4 over 2. And we can always take our slopes and reduce them. It's really 2, but I think it's okay to write it as 2 over 1 just because it'll really help you with the slope. And it's going to be positive, okay, because it's going up and right, positive over positive. Now remember, if we always go the left dot to the right dot, the bottom number will always be positive, so that'll be helpful. Let's look at this one. How far did this dot have to go up to get to there? Well, it went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one rose 5, and it went over how many? 1, 2, 3. So the slope of this is just going to be simply 5 over 3. Now let's take a look at this next one. I'm going to go from this dot to that dot. And on this dot, I went down 1, 2, 3. Now if I go down 3, I want to write negative 3 over whatever the run is. So if I'm right here, the run is 1, 2. So that's negative 3 over 2. Should I make it 1 and 1/2? No. Okay, because we want to, it's okay to have the mixed numbers and slope. Just leave it that way. Now, these freak people out a little bit because they're the straight lines. What do we do in these situations? I actually want to get to this one second. Okay, I'm going to come back to this one. Let's start with this one right here. So now, this one is, what's my up and down on this? How far up? What's the rise of this? It's not going up. Okay, so the up is 0. What's the run? It doesn't matter. The run could be 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, a billion, negative a billion. It doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm going to write blah because it could go over whatever. Because the reason it doesn't matter is because once I have a 0 on top, what does that mean? The answer is 0. So this one, whenever you see a horizontal line, that's what we call a 0 slope or no slope. This one's a little bit different though, because if I take a look at this, well, what's the rise? Same thing. The rise could be whatever. I'm just going to put a question mark. Okay, the rise could be 2, 3, 5, whatever. The big part of this is what's the run? How far left and right is it moving? And the answer is it's not. So the run is going to be 0. Well, what is anything over 0? You're not allowed to have 0 on bottom. If 0 is on the bottom, the earth explodes and we all die. We call that no solution. So a vertical line, that's going to be really important, especially when we get into algebra 2 and calculus and trigonometry and all that. We need to know that vertical lines are no solution. Okay, we can't do anything with them. Okay, so that's just what we do. Horizontal lines, that's fine, they're 0. Vertical lines, no solution. So in any case, that's all you need to know about finding slope. We did it 2 different ways. We did it the way where we saw a slope and we had to come up with the find the slope, and then we did another one where we gave you the slope and you had to be able to write it on the graph. If you can go both ways, you're in really good shape. Now, what if they don't give you a picture and they just give you numbers and you have to figure it out using math? That's the next video. So take a look at that.